the Falcons, it was announced a little bit ago, have an official interview set up with former Ravens head coach John Harbaugh. He has already been conducting preliminary and extensive phone calls with the Giants, Titans, Browns, Raiders, and Cardinals, according to Adam Schefter, trying to determine who else he will meet with later this week and into next week before he makes a decision. But the first interview is going to the Falcons. So again, Browns are kind of in that mix at this point, and it's going to be, does he like what he hears when he's talking to Andrew Berry and Jimmy Haslam?
Yeah, and you look at, some of the teams that are showing interest, and obviously you can see some of the reasons that maybe, the interest would be mutual from Harbaugh's standpoint. You certainly have teams there, the Giants, the Titans, who feel they have, the answer at the quarterback position. The Raiders, obviously, you're sitting there with that number one pick, and, I don't assume Mark Davis is going to do anything but let you just do whatever it is you want to do. And Cleveland, it's a difficult situation, and I think it's similar. Honestly, like Atlanta was one that kind of surprises me a little bit. That it's the first, because you're looking at these teams and you're looking at quarterback positions. Kirk Cousins, I think played pretty well this year. He's not the long-term answer. Michael Penix, unfortunately, Michael Penix's knees are closer to a guy at 65 than a guy near 25 years old. But also, if you're Harbaugh, you didn't really, it wasn't like this when you got the Ravens job the first time around. It wasn't all of this spectacle, and obviously social media was in its infancy days back in those days. And, if you're Harbaugh, you're going to take one more job, and then eventually you're going to call it, a career after that. So if you're Harbaugh, I think, right now, maybe you enjoy the ride a little bit, go around. Obviously, man, as long as he's been in the business with his family, of course, you probably have friends in every building in the NFL. Take the opportunity, go around, see what's out there for you.